He's meeting Muhammad Ali, the original champion. Joe Frazier's a street fighter. He walks in, he slugs, he fights wild. He's no skill. All of his opponents beat him for the first 2 or 3 rounds. But wait until I get Joe Frazier.
On March 8, 1971, one of boxing's greatest battles unfolded as two undefeated legends, Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, stepped into the ring to face each other.
Ali Frazier won was the most watched sporting event in the history of the world.
Joe Frazier, the heavyweight champion of the world. Clumsy, ugly, flat-footed Joe Frazier. I'll show you what a real champion.
In this video, I'll take you through the complete history of a legendary rivalry between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, both inside the ring and beyond. You're watching your boxing guide. Sit back and enjoy. Back in the 1960s, Muhammad Ali stood as the most powerful and famous boxer on the planet, dominating his opponents not only in the ring but also outside of it.
It took an all-white jury less than a half hour to find Muhammad Ali guilty of all charges and specifications. He was sentenced to the maximum, 5 years in prison, and was fined $10,000.
He was charismatic, carried a flawless undefeated record, and revolutionized boxing by moving around the ring with the agility of a lightweight.
Joe Frazier had all the fighters respected in the top 10. But anybody that ever saw him fight and understand the game of boxing will tip their hat to Mr. Frazier.
Nothing could stop him, but at the very peak of his career, he was banned from boxing for 3 years due to his stance on the Vietnam War.
I consider myself the heavyweight champion of the world until the champ get back in action again.
And when you say the champ gets back in action again, I assume you're talking about Muhammad Ali.
That's right, I would like to face him.
While Ali was fighting his case in court, another Olympic champion, Joe Frazier, was rising on the horizon.
I think you've improved yourself as a professional fighter. I've improved myself, so I'll get him a couple of days rest. And since we can't get along, we just gonna have to get it on.
In just 4 years, Joe Frazier built a reputation as a true warrior. Nicknamed the Philadelphia Left Hook, he claimed the heavyweight crown stripped from Ali by knocking out Jimmy Ellis and establishing himself as the new king of the division.
His space should be donated to the Bureau of Wildlife.
I want him to build him up real big, make him just a terror and a giant. And right after the fight, I'm going to break my neck, get into the newspaper stand to see what the excuse is the next morning. I'm just waiting to see what the excuse is going to be when I whoop Joe Frazier.
In the late 1960s, after 3 years away from boxing, Muhammad Ali returned to the ring determined to reclaim his lost titles. Following his victory over Oscar Bonavena, Ali called out Frazier from inside the ring.
He tried to do everything and say everything to put me down, in which I don't agree with it. And I think that the guy talked from the side of his mouth, and he's a phony.
I'm the champ. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Ali usually go around hollering, he's the champ, and he called me a dumb fighter, but I tell him nobody never took my championship away from me.
Set for March 1971, and Muhammad Ali unleashed a storm of words, channeling all his fire and intensity directly at
Me, Joe Frazier, this will be like a good amateur fighting a real professional.
Joe, what's your prediction?
My prediction, the fight wouldn't go the distance. I'll stop him. Stop me.
Joe Frazier remained calm and focused, training in silence as he prepared for the biggest fight of his career.
This is the biggest event in the history of the whole planet Earth. You understand?
I understand. Why?
Not because of Joe Frazier.
The final press conference, both fighters made it clear they each intended to hand the other the first defeat of his career.
You making any forecasts about the fight? What do you mean forecasts? You're gonna win? Sure.
If Joe Frazier whoops Muhammad Ali, he'll be the greatest fighter that ever lived. Believe me, this will be no contest to prove I'm still the best.
It sold out in just 2 hours, and Madison Square Garden hadn't seen such a star-studded crowd in years. The fight quickly became the most anticipated event of the year, with everyone eager to witness history in the making.
That's still a good jab. Frazier is smiling as he takes those jabs. Those are hard jabs and a good right thrust. They're in Ali's corner and Ali is hurt.
2 Olympic champions, 2 undisputed world champions, both undefeated, stepped into the ring to prove their greatness. But in the end, only one could emerge victorious.
Muhammad Ali that we remember 3.5 years ago was a dancer. He's not dancing tonight. And Muhammad Ali may be a little tired. Now Muhammad Ali is finding the mark with those jabs. Ali ducked into that punch instead of moving. Oh, that one hurt.
Look at that right. Look at those rights. Those rights and lefts. He's a little man, but he's a Sherman tank. And he keeps moving in.
At the start of the fight, both men leaned on their strengths. Muhammad Ali stayed at range, pumping his jab, while Joe Frazier pressed forward, looking to land his trademark left hook. And he did, though Ali tried to shrug it off as if the punches had no effect.
Good 1-2 and a jab. Oh, wicked left hook. A good exchange.
What a round.
It's worth noting that before his 3-year hiatus, Ali was known for his dazzling footwork, practically dancing around opponents. But in this fight, that signature movement was absent, something even the commentators were quick to point out.
Ali almost a sitting duck here. But Frazier has caught him again.
Archie, what do you think of this? Ali seems a little disgusted with himself, but he's mighty tired. I don't see how this fight can go the distance.
Before they were yelling Ali, Ali, now they're yelling Joe, Joe.
From the 5th round onward, Frazier's confidence surged. He even taunted Muhammad Ali mid-fight, showing his edge in motivation and focus. It was clear that Frazier was locked in and determined to make this his night.
Dancing around for the first time.
By the midway point of the fight, Ali had given up control, leaning on the ropes, clinching, and fighting passively. As a result, the same crowd that had been chanting Ali's name began shifting their support to Joe Frazier.
That one hurt, so did that. And Muhammad Ali staggers. Oh, what a shot. That was a wicked punch. Muhammad Ali rocks into the ropes. I think Muhammad Ali is in real trouble now. Dr. Kleiman went over to Muhammad Ali's corner. I guess he's...
In rounds 9, 10, and 11, Ali found moments of success, landing sharp combinations that caught Frazier cleanly. But Joe, relentless like a bulldozer, kept pressing forward, closing the distance, and dishing out heavy punishment.
Frazier is very tired himself. Well, they're fighting like lightweights now. Muhammad Ali is missing a lot of those punches. Frazier laughs at him again. Frazier's right eye looks as though it might be closing. And Joe Frazier is pretty spent too. A wicked punch. There's a spot of blood on the shoulder of Ali. I guess it's from Frazier.
Hurt, Joe. What do you hurt? That's the best round. There's something wrong with his face. He might very well have a broken jaw.
16 and final round.
Midway through the 11th round, Frazier delivered a crushing body shot followed by a devastating hook to the head, so powerful that only the ropes kept Ali from going down. It was, without question, the hardest punch of the fight, and it left Ali clearly hurt.
He takes the mandatory 8 count. The only knockdown of the fight. Frazier smartly goes for the body.
Both fighters were running on empty, their punches losing sharpness and speed. Yet, true champions to the end, each dug deep, using every ounce of strength left to try and swing the fight in his favor.
Muhammad Ali has never taken such a battering. I'd say they're both pretty tired. 30 seconds to go in the round. 30 seconds. Joe Frazier was like a tank. That's just what he is. We'll have an interview with the winner and maybe with the loser. There it is.
Round is over. There it goes, that left hook. Look at it.
In the final round, Ali tried to seize control by pressing the attack, but then came Frazier's legendary left hook, dropping Ali to the canvas in dramatic fashion.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Here comes the decision. Johnny Addy.
The winner by unanimous decision, Joe Frazier.
Joe Frazier.
Muhammad Ali spent the remainder of the round on the defensive, while Joe Frazier, too exhausted for a full-on assault, couldn't finish off the stunned former champion.
I'm human, and I realize that we all have to lose and life's still going on.
Frazier took a terrible beating, which still lets me know how good I am, even after the layoff. Everything. Next time, there won't be no match. Next time, there won't be no show. I'll be on my toes. I'll be moving more. I won't play 3 rounds. I'll keep my guard up. I'll be more serious. Next time, I know him now. Next time, it'll be an easy fight.
When the fight ended, both men were utterly spent. They had entered the ring as undefeated champions, but that night, only one would leave with his perfect record intact.
Float like a butterfly, sting like the bee. Man, I'm the man beat up Muhammad Ali.
Joe Frazier defeated Muhammad Ali, successfully defending his WBC and WBA heavyweight titles for the second time. Completely exhausted, Frazier was unable to give a post-fight interview, while Ali, despite the loss, managed to speak, delivering a few characteristically arrogant remarks. Thus concluded one of the greatest fights in boxing history, but it was only the beginning of an equally legendary trilogy between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier.